And we are live. Hey everyone, this is Mohit. So, hello to all creatives. Right. So, today we're going to talk about the passion of an artist and the rigor of a scientist. All right. So, when it comes to artists, I have this self image of myself being, my artist is not such a big deal, right? Like, I'm just making art every day. It's not even as if, I have much hopes of that paying me so much. And I need to look for alternative sources of income for me to sustain the artistic lifestyle. Yes, that is like the bitter truth about it depends on what a bitter truth is for you, but the bitter truth in like the the capitalist world, it does not appreciate art so much, etc., etc., etc. But I would say that capitalism, or I just don't want to say like the society, okay? But the world does value art a lot, like like humanity as a whole, the public or whatever you want to call it, art is valued to such a degree that it is venerated, and there's a reason why Mona Lisa is in the Louvre, and the some of the cities in Europe, they have the tourism industry just starts paying for itself because people come to see how beautiful the cities in Europe are. Like I have a friend who just loves to go to Spain, and when he comes back to India, he just keeps saying, "Man, Spain was such a beautiful city." And like that passion of that place, it is clearly it is shared by people who witness it. So that calls into question on what a role of an artist truly is. Sometimes an artist, and when I say artist, I'm saying it in a very broadest terms. Okay, and this came to me when I was reading Leonardo da Vinci's biography by Walter Isaacson, and I also, to follow up on that, I read Albert Einstein's biography. By Walter Isaacson. The Walter Isaacson seemed to be connected on either way, like or to these people. So Walter Isaacson's thesis for both of these guys, what he found in common, which I found in the text, was that. They were like passionately curious or whatever they were looking for. I mean, in 1905, like when Albert Einstein wrote that was considered the miracle year, okay? Annos Mirabilis, that's what it's called. Like the miracle year where Einstein published his so many breakthroughs on physics, on the photoelectric effect, the special theory of relativity, and people still to this day forget imagining. I mean, forget like inventing something like this. People still don't understand what this special theory of relativity is. In fact, I've in one of these interviews by a physicist, I heard that most physicists don't understand what like special theory of relativity is, and I don't dare say that I understand it. But as far as I know, it seems that the gravity is supposed to be in the fourth dimension of space time, and space and time are like intertwined, okay? Like it's a fabric of space time, and what we call gravity is basically the space time fabric being curved in the fourth dimension, time being the fourth dimension. You have like the width, you have the, I mean, you get me, right? The one dimension is the length, one dimension is the height, the other dimension is the depth, and the fourth dimension is time. So how did Einstein come up with that? Like what kind of an imagination it must have took him to take that leap, right? It's like and what Isaacson goes through his thought process, as in it's when he wrote one of his letters, Einstein wrote to his friends, like he called dubbed it the Olympia Academy. Like he had a group of friends who were like renegades, and this is also, as an artist, it's important that you have like a certain group of people who are like your support system. Like you have them keeping you accountable, and also like who give you like, okay, like a fan kind of thing, like not just a fan but more of a mentor or a coach, that they coach you. And you want that kind of positivity, because sometimes you may not get the positivity from your audience. You need somebody to like be there, who's got your back. And for Einstein, Olympia Academy was something like that, because he was a patent clerk in Switzerland, in Zurich. And like he even though he had like a a busy job, he still spent time on his physics papers. And when it comes to Leonardo da Vinci, right? He was so crazy about science, especially about optics, like geometry. Like look at his journals. He really tried his best to learn mathematics, but he just he stopped till geometry. And there was criticism by a certain art critic that, hey, if Leonardo didn't spend so much time in all these frivolous activities, we would have gotten more crazy paintings, like the Mona Lisa or the I can't name the other paintings because I've forgotten their names. But you know what I'm talking about, right? So to that, Walter Isaacson says, hey, like if Leonardo did not explore what he did explore, we wouldn't have the Mona Lisa at all, because the Mona Lisa is like a culmination of all the things that he studied, like his the blurring technique or painting technique. You look it up. It's called Smufato technique or something. Smufato. I can't. I think I butchered the spelling as well. But look it up. The Smufato painting is like it. The farther things are, they are all blurred, and the closer things are, they are more clearly defined. It's a phenomenal work. That Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci, made, and that the painting is still mesmerizing to this day. So why, like, as an, don't just look at yourself as an artist. Like, you're almost as if you're about to discover something. It may not seem like it, but consider that even Einstein, when he was starting out as a physicist, he had to learn all the basics of mathematics and physics. He had to learn about Newton's laws. He had to learn about all the things that came before. He was greatly influenced by David Hume's work about the philosophy of science, Immanuel Kant and Baruch Spinoza, or like they influenced a lot in his life. Similarly, Leonardo da Vinci as well was influenced a lot by his mentor, who he was apprenticing under. So even though it may seem like you are just doing like a normal drawings, the basic of the basic stuff, like how to draw like cats and bunnies and eyes and noses using tutorials from Pinterest or whatever, it's okay. It's not about like discovering something new in the outset. Like, we are not expecting nobody is expecting you to be a prodigy. It's about like you having a certain wavelength of consider that whatever human beings are in this world, it is pretty random. Like, it's we cannot predict what they'll come up with. So whatever you are interested in, consider like you are uniquely interested in that, because you may consider yourself an outsider in most of your circles, because you are uniquely drawn towards whatever you're interested about. And I may not be interested in whatever you are interested in. Like, if you are into underwater basket weaving, I may not be like into that, but you are so obsessed about underwater basket weaving. Weird example, but go with it. Like, you may discover something new. Like, in order to do underwater basket weaving, you have to like figure out some kind of innovative technique to be able to breathe underwater to do that underwater basket weaving. So my point is that things which will come out of this, it's almost like an accident. So there is this book by Tim Hadford called Adapt, okay, and it's about how messy things lead to like innovative solutions. So not all these things are planned, okay. It's not like a research and development division of in a company which keeps producing consistent results. So have you give yourself some time to explore. There is even an algorithm computer scientists use. It's called explore and exploit. So like, at what point of the time do you stop exploring and exploit whatever you have explored? So such things. So consider right now you're explore to your heart's content. Like, see, because the problem is that you don't know on what to settle on. And consider that people who are open to new experiences, they oscillate between going from exploration to exploit. And when I say exploit, it might have a negative connotation to the word. I may in the future refer another word for it, but either way, exploit here means what you use that resource for, like whatever you have explored upon. So like, there's a book called Algorithms to Live By, and that's where I first heard of this explore exploit algorithm. So it's like, consider you have a problem of finding a life partner, right? And you have like a certain exploration, you right now you're in the exploration, like, what do you call it, exploration mode. You are exploring all the options you have. Now, at what point do you stop exploring and settle? Okay, I think it should be called explore slash settle. All right. So, at what point do you settle on a certain person? It's a bit like you need to like figure out the certain kind of ratio, because if you explore uh, a little bit and immediately settle, you may have missed out on something better. But if you keep on exploring, you may miss out on the chance to be like settle early, because you're running out of time maybe, or there is a certain amount of limitation you have based on outward influences. You know what, this is a bad metaphor, like forget about it. Consider like another idea about explore exploit. You can apply for searching for a certain kind of reference photo for your next art piece, right? Like how long are you going to keep exploring? And there will be a certain time limit when you do settle on a certain reference photo. So that's why the passion of an artist, the rigor of a scientist. You are so obsessed about your artwork that you're going to keep exploring, and who knows, right? Your masterpiece might just be around the corner. And though it may seem like people are doing great things in early in their life, like even Steve Jobs. Okay, another biography written by Walter Isaacson. Walter Isaacson wrote Steve Jobs, Leonardo da Vinci's biography, and Albert Einstein's biography. Steve Jobs had the same thing. Like he thought that the best artists create in their 20s, and Leonardo da Vinci, in the end of his life, he was like asking himself, was anything ever really significant done by my life? And Albert Einstein was also like, as you grow older, you become more of a reactionary, like, and not being revolutionary enough. So it's all these interesting musings, and believe me, even the great artists and scientists of their time have that kind of a feeling. So it's okay, as long as you produce art every day, you come closer to your true self. And that is where Carl Jung's circumambulatory path idea comes in, that you keep oscillating towards your true self, and you come closer and closer and closer, and the more you explore it, finally you reach that the true self that you are looking for. So I hope this helps you, and I'm going to see you soon.